My name's Austin Stettler. I'm 31, been at Bethany for almost 6 years now, I would say. Newly married about a year ago, got married to my wife. So actually, about when I first started attending this church, I was kind of going through a transition in my life, kind of hard time in my life, and started like shopping around locally for churches. And came into Bethany and found this place, and kind of was just like, I knew right away this is the spot I wanted to be. I started making quick relationships with like Dave and Donna and some of the staff, and could really tell that this was a place where I felt at home. It's kind of about five years ago, so about a year after I started coming here, my grandmother was in hospice, and she was passing away, and I don't really remember this, but my aunt reminded me of it a few months ago when I got home. We were walking down the hallway in the hospice, in the hospital, and there's all these African pictures and scenes on the walls, and I guess apparently I looked at my aunt mid-conversation. I just stopped and I pointed at the one picture and I just said, I really want to go to Africa. So that was kind of like the number one kind of God thing. And then number two, a few months after that, I was actually walking into church here, and I just kind of fell, I just kind of crumbled. And I was again with my aunt, and I looked at her and and she's, what's going on? And I'm just crying, and the only words I could get out were, I want to go to Africa. So those are the two times where I have no explanation, and looking back at it now, the way things kind of unfolded, it all had to be God. So I kind of thought, like I said, I have a construction company. I'm kind of like, all right, I can go and do water work or build houses, or do all these things. And as I started getting closer with this organization, I realized, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing much of that. It's really going to be ministry work. So something I never thought that I would be able to do or feel comfortable doing, or anything like that. I just don't feel like I am qualified to do any of those things. But I realized it was mainly ministry work. So that's really what we did the whole time. I mean, every day from I think it was like 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock, we went through all the grades from kindergarten to high school, and it was crafts lessons and games every day, and you would rotate through each grade. So it was kind of like a non-stop. You would get new kids each day. You meet with these beautiful kids with just the most amazing smiles. After they got over the fact of a big white man with a big beard, I mean, you start to really get to know them, and they just have so much love in them, and they keep looking at you and they say, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty. And then, and then it comes back with, why aren't I pretty? Why aren't I beautiful? And you start to really realize, like, those aren't just words, like, and it was across the board. It was, majority of those kids feel like they're worthless. Majority of those kids, I mean, I've heard it, I feel like they're mistakes. Majority of those kids don't know. I had kids say, why did God make me if this is my life? You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that is like, I was hanging out with kids, I was sitting in the grass with kids, and you look over and you see a kid eating a piece of plastic that they found on the ground, just chewing off a piece of plastic like it's candy, and you're like, you want to be like, no, don't do that, but you're like, this is something that they do just to put something in their stomach, One of the kids that we were there with on the mission trip came up to me and said, I saw a kid eating rocks, like, I don't know what to do about that. And it's like, you don't know how to handle those situations because it's unheard of. You can't think of that, you can't fathom that here. Widow visits where we would hike miles. I mean, the one hike was over 4 miles, I think, just one way to get to the top of this mountain to meet these just beautiful, beautiful people that are living in ways that you can't even fathom. And after widow visits, it's devotionals, and then there's Bible studies, and I found God using me. I was asked to teach Bible studies, something that there's no way I can do this, and God just gives you the words, you hear that all the time, and until it happens, you don't realize. And I don't want to keep saying I, because there would be no I if God didn't give me the will or power to do it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I was so terrified to even the thought of teaching or running a Bible study. At the end of the trip, I think the group that we were with, the guys in our group, we ended up getting over 30 kids to commit their life to Jesus.